Hi! According to legend, St. George slayed the dragon. So this fine advanced level trap in the dragon variation of the Sicilian is aptly called the St. George trap. And sitting in on this tutorial is one of my top students, Eitan Misharovsky. Hi there, Eitan. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, we got here a Sicilian after e4, c5, knight f3 and d6. d4, c takes on d4, knight takes on d4, knight f6 hitting the pawn on e4, and white guards with knight c3. Here black goes for the aggressive dragon variation. That bishop is going to be posted on g7 and he gets to be called the dragon bishop. So in this particular trap, white goes for the high scoring Levinfish variation. It was favoured by many GMs, amongst them the great Judith Polgar. So after black plays bishop g7, white continues aggressively with e5, takes, and now hitting the knight on f6. This is where so many players have gone wrong, and in a separate video we'll see what happens when the knight bolts to g4. However, here we will look at the blunder knight d5, and this has been seen on my database over 100 times and by players with more than 2,400 feeder rating, because after this blunder knight d5, black is busted. How does white win? Well, after bishop b5, black can't interpose that check. Reason being, if knight c6, we're going to have knight takes c6, b takes c6, bishop takes c6 will win material for white. And if bishop d7, well then the d5 knight is loose and that can be taken. So after bishop b5, the king is going to slide over to f8. And now, castles. That rook now on f1 is going to be causing mayhem and havoc along the f file. So what can black do here? Well, it looks like for a second that he can take that knight on c3. Why not? That looks like a decent trade, but it isn't, because that loses out immediately to knight e6 check. And after a move like bishop takes e6, queen takes d8 is going to be mate. So knight takes c3 is not on the cards. Black can try bishop takes e5, but after bishop takes e5, we've got bishop h6 check, and both moves that black can play here lead to disaster. If bishop retreats and interposes on g7, then we're going to have bishop takes on g7, king takes, knight takes on d5, queen takes on d5, and knight f5. That's quite cute. That's going to lose the queen. So after bishop h6, black can try king to g8, but after king g8 we also have knight takes on d5, and after queen takes on d5, the recapture, knight f5, and that's threatening knight takes on e7, mate. So black can't afford to take the white queen on d1. He's going to get mated. So the queen sidesteps to c5 check. White then will retreat with the bishop to e3, hitting the queen. And after the queen moves to, say, c7 to keep d8 guarded, white will win with knight h6, the knight relocating to h6. And when the king moves to either g7 or f8, we've got rook takes f7, checkmate. Great stuff. So this has been the St. George trap in the Levinfish variation of the Sicilian. I hope it was useful. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.